I will show you one table. So this is the table. There are four type of pulse. Number one, floating pulse. Floating pulse means we are feeling only on the surface, but we are not feeling in the deeper inside, or it's very weak deeper inside. Like boat floating on the water, and it is telling about the external attack, wind heat attack, wind cold attack, early infection, cough and cold, sneezing and all. These all are floating pulse. So when we are feeling the floating pulse, we will feel only on the surface, but as we go deep inside, we will not feel it, or very, very weak. Second is the sinking pulse. So the sinking pulse, we are feeling like a stone in the bottom of river. A stone in the bottom of river, very deep inside. So felt only with the deep pressure inside. We will feel it in the deep. Okay. So that is internal conditions. Like cold, some stagnation, some deficiency, some internal condition. So sinking pulse means which pulse we will feel only deep inside. Maybe we are going very deep, then we feel some strong, but whatever we feel deep inside, that is a sinking pulse. And because sinking pulse is very internal, so it will tell the internal condition, deficient condition, no energy, so we are not feeling any pulse on the surface. Third is the slow. Slow pulse means less than 4 beat per breath. In one breath, we are having only 4 beat or less than 4 beat. So it's like a slow moving tortoise. Like tortoise is moving very slowly. It's a cold condition or the yang deficiency. Okay, pulse is very slow, very, very slow, like tortoise is walking very slowly. It is the cold condition. And the last written here, fast pulse. More than 6 beat per breath. Okay, but we are feeling very faster pulse, more than 6 beat per breath, a running rabbit. That is a heat syndrome. So we have to remember two things. Number one, heat. Number two, yin deficiency also creating empty heat. So there are two types of heat. So on the basis of this, now we will do one quiz. This quiz will be very simple. So all of you do with me. You have to reply here only in the group. Anyone can unmute yourself. So whenever you find the right answer, you can reply. So I posted the quiz in the group, in the chat box. Also posted in the group. So let's solve this quiz now. So first we'll write the name here. Okay, here we have to write mobile number. By mistake, the name written 2 times. We can write the mobile number. Question 1. What does a floating pulse typically indicate? Floating pulse का मतलब क्या? What do you answer?
External conditions, sir.
So the floating pulse means external condition. Okay. So what is the meaning of floating pulse? And what is the meaning of external condition?
Any wind attack, wind heat, wind cold.
Yeah. So external condition like wind heat, wind cold, and what else? Which disease? Like fever, sneezing, cough and cold. So in this condition, what does a floating pulse typically indicate? That is external condition. Very good. Question number 2. What is the characteristic feature of sinking pulse?
Felt only with deep pressure.
Felt only with deep pressure.
So the sinking pulse felt with only deep pressure. Deep pressure. Okay. Because sinking pulse, which example gives for the
Stone on the bottom of the river.
The bottom of
stone in the bottom of river? That is the example of sinking pulse. Okay. A stone in the bottom of river. Question number 3. A slow pulse generally has how many beats per breath?
Less than 4.
Less than 4.
Less than 4. And what is the meaning of slow pulse?
In one breath.
water.
How many?
In one breath. So we will count only one breath, or we will count for 3-4 breath?
One breath.
For breath में count करते average को.
In one breath, 4.
Yeah, one breath less than 4, right answer. Okay. So I am asking you that when you count this pulse, you will count only one breath, or we will see
No, we have to
2-3
continue.
breaths.
Have to count 3-4 breaths. Sir.
4 breath.
So we will count many breaths so that we can find out the perfect reading, right? Okay. So slow pulse indicate which condition? What is happening in the body? Body is
Chi deficiency.
slow
Blood,
pulse means
Indeficiencies.
blood deficiency.
slow pulse means cold condition or hot condition?
Cold.
Cold condition.
Cold condition.
Yes. So
Cold
slow
condition.
pulse means cold condition. Very nice. Question number 4. Which metaphor best represent a floating pulse?
A boat floating on water.
Floating on the water.
Boat floating on water.
So boat floating on the water. So this is the right. So boat floating on the water. So when we check the pulse, we will feel only on the surface, but as we press, pulse disappear. Very nice. Question number 5. What does a fast pulse typically indicate?
Heat syndrome.
Heat
Heat syndrome.
So the fast pulse means like when the pulse is more than 6 beat per breath, it is telling some heat condition, some inflammation, some infection, means something heat connected. Question number 6. Which pulse is described as a stone at the bottom of river?
Floating pulse.
Sinking pulse.
No,
Sir.
sinking pulse.
Sinking.
Sinking pulse. Sinking pulse.
Thinking
A
pulse.
stone in the bottom of river. Stone in the bottom of river.
Thinking pulse.
Sinking pulse. Because sinking pulse will not feel on the surface. We have to go on the bottom of river. Question number 7. What is the main characteristic of the fast pulse?
More than
More
6.
than 6
More
beats
than
per
6
breath.
beats per
More than
breath.
6 breaths.
More than 6 beat per breath. So we are counting the pulse. Okay, we can count one by one. Okay, on the lung, on the heart area. Oh, it is more than 6 beat per breath. There is a heat in the heart. Okay, liver area, more than 6 beat per breath. Okay, heat in the liver. Kidney area, more than 6 beat per breath. Okay, that is the heat in the kidney, right?
Empty heat.
Yeah, so it might be empty heat. Yes, perfect. So question number 8, a slow moving tortoise. is a metaphor of this type of pulse.
Slow pulse.
Shrinking pulse.
Slow pulse.
Slow pulse.
Slow moving tortoise is walking slowly, very slow.
Slow pulse. Slow pulse.
So it is slow pulse. On the one side we have rabbit, on the other side we have tortoise. So slow moving tortoise is a metaphor for slow pulse. Slow pulse means cold condition. Question number 9. Which pulse type is commonly associated with the yin deficiency or inflammation?
Fast pulse.
Fast
pulse.
pulse.
So yin deficiency or the inflammation. So this is something like yin deficiency creating heat. It is the
Fast pulse.
fast pulse. Question number 10. Which of the following best represent an external condition like cold and fever? External condition.
Floating pulse.
So whenever we talk about the external condition like cold, fever, these all are floating pulse. Floating pulse means external condition. Let's submit it. So excellent. These answers were right. Perfect. So what we'll do one more quiz, same like quiz, but maybe something same, something little different. Yeah, very nice. So now I'm posting another quiz. So that I posted the quiz in the group. Let me post here also the chat box. So first write our name. Again, we have to correct here. Okay, name. Then we'll write phone number. Now, question number 1. What kind of condition does a sinking pulse usually indicate? Sinking pulse किस condition को indicate करती है बात?
Internal cold
Internal
stagnation.
cold stagnation deficiency.
So sinking pulse means very deep inside. Very deep inside means it's telling about some very deep condition, internal cold, stagnation, the deficiency. So sinking pulse means sometimes we are telling, okay, spleen chi sinking. It means severe deficiency of the spleen. Okay, whenever we talk about the sinking, heart sinking, any chi sinking, kidney sinking. So whenever we talk about the sinking means it's a very deficient condition. Question number 2. Which pulse type is typically associated with a yang deficiency? Yang deficiency.
Slow pulse.
Slow pulse.
So the meaning of yang deficiency, the body is cold, maybe arms, hand cold, feet cold, or maybe some swelling is there, like spleen yang deficiency, like bloating in the abdomen, like kidney yang deficiency, swelling in the feet. So some type of the yang deficiency means,
Slow pulse.
please mute, those who are speaking, please mute yourself. We should not, some unwanted sound is coming. I have muted everyone. Then when you speak, you unmute yourself. Okay? You can unmute yourself. Only, okay. So question number, which pulse type is typically associated with a yang deficiency? What is the answer? You can
Slow.
slow pulse. The right answer will be slow pulse. Yeah. So slow pulse means we are counting the pulse 1, 2, 3. It's like a tortoise, very, very slow. And we can count in all the position. Like we can count on the lung position, then the middle spleen position, then the kidney position. With every position we'll count. And after that we'll tell, okay, this organ is having yang deficiency. Question number 3. Which metaphor is used to describe fast pulse?
Running
Fast
rabbit.
Which one?
Running rabbit.
So fast pulse means running a rabbit. It means the pulse is very fast, like a rabbit is running. So in the one breath, we can feel 6 beat, 7 beat, or more than that. That is telling the heat condition. Question number 4. Which pulse is most likely felt on the surface and disappear with a deep pressure?
Sinking pulse.
So felt on the surface.
Floating pulse.
Floating pulse.
Floating pulse.
You are feeling at the surface, right?
Floating pulse.
Disappear
Floating
with
pulse.
the
Floating.
floating pulse. Because floating pulse disappear with the deep pressure. Question number 5. A slow pulse most commonly indicate which syndrome? Slow pulse.
Cold syndrome.
Cold syndrome.
Cold syndrome.
Cold syndrome.
So slow
Cold.
pulse is
Cold
indicating
syndrome.
the cold syndrome. Okay, 1 minute. So the slow pulse commonly indicate cold syndrome. Very nice. Question number 6. A fast pulse is often associated with which of the following?
Heat syndrome.
Syndrome.
Heat
Heat
syndrome.
syndrome.
Okay.
Heat syndrome.
So question. When you are checking the pulse, how will you tell that it is the fast pulse? How will you tell?
More than 6 beats.
If
6
it
beats.
is
More than 6
more
beats.
than 6 beats, more than 6 beats, right? Then we
Yes.
can declare it is
Yes.
a fast pulse. Okay. So the question number 7. A pulse that feel like a boat floating on the water indicate of
Floating.
Floating pulse.
Floating
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 pulse.
pulse. Very good. Repeated question. Question number 8. Which pulse type would be most likely found in a patient with a fever and sore throat? Sore throat.
Floating pulse.
Which one?
Floating.
Yes, right. Your answer is right. Can you explain?
Floating pulse.
External cold and
Yeah, there is attack of external, like maybe external cold, external heat, wind heat, something attacking from the outside. That is a floating pulse. Question number 9. Which pulse type is most commonly associated with the inflammation or the internal heat?
Sir.
Inflammation and the internal heat.
Fast pulse.
Sinking pulse.
no.
So which pulse type is most commonly associated with the inflammation or internal heat?
Fast pulse. Fast pulse.
Fast pulse.
Fast pulse.
See,
Fast pulse.
the answer will be fast pulse only, right? So because just by seeing the internal, okay, we cannot directly think about the sinking because internal heat also too much heat and it will create lots of internal hot heat syndrome, right? So that is a fast. Question number 10. Which of the following best to describe the feeling of sinking pulse? Sinking pulse.
We can
Deep,
and forceful.
deep and forceful.
Deep and forceful.
Yeah,
Deep and
perfect answer.
forceful.
Very nice, very nice. Because sinking pulse will be deep. Now, when we go deep, it might be slow, it might be forceful, but sinking pulse will be deep. Very
Deep.
good. Wonderful. So remember one thing, sinking pulse will be deep. Sinking pulse cannot be superficial. Sinking pulse cannot be rapid. Okay, sinking pulse will be deep. So the answer will be this. So this is summation. So here it is, okay, all questions are right, but just a name and maybe some,
yes.
okay, fine. So now we will be doing the quiz number 3, which I posted in the group today. It is little complicated, but so now this is the third quiz. Also putting here. So first write the name, then the mobile number. What does a fast and floating pulse most commonly indicate? Fast and
Wind
floating. What is?
wind
Wind
heat
regulator.
Okay, wind heat is the right answer. Can you explain?
external
Yeah.
Floating means external. Floating means external. Fast means heat means fast.
Yeah. So floating means external and fast
Heat.
means
heat.
some heat.
Heat.
So when we are checking the pulse like this, we will feel very fast pulse, like a rabbit running, and we'll feel only on the surface.
Surface.
And this pulse we might feel, we can first we can check all the 3 finger together, and we can check one by one. Oh, this might be condition all together, or maybe we can check one by one. So the question number 2, a slow and empty pulse generally indicate which condition?
Chronic young or cheated.
So what is the meaning of slow?
Slow means cold.
Cold.
Slow means cold,
Cold.
and empty means
Efficient.
so it cannot be bind. It cannot be bind, right?
Yes.
Okay. It cannot be heat because there is a slow pulse. So the answer will be chronic yang or chi deficiency with the internal cold. Means it's very slow pulse and the empty pulse. What is the meaning of that? Suppose I am checking the pulse. I'm not feeling any pulse. Then I will go very deep inside. I can feel very slow pulse, very deep inside, like a stone in the bottom of a river. Sinking pulse. A stone in the bottom river. Then I am touching the stone and it is walking like a tortoise, very slow, slow, slow. It means sinking and slow. So it's a very deficient condition. It's a very weak condition and cold condition. Okay, so like it is also very common when the person is having severe spleen deficiency, like in the varicose vein or uterus prolapse or some part prolapse, because prolapse means spleen sinking. Okay. So question number 2 was slow and empty pulse means chronic yang deficiency or the qi deficiency with the internal cold. Question number 3. What does a strong and slippery pulse usually signify? So first tell what is the
Damp.
slippery? Slippery means,
Phlegm accumulate. Damp, heat, and the phlegm.
so slippery means dampness. Slippery means some pearls rolling under your finger. Some pearls rolling under a finger, that is the meaning of slippery. मोती आपकी उंगलियों के नीचे ऐसे लुढ़क रहे हैं, that is slippery. That is the meaning of dampness. Now, only out of 4, only one condition is telling dampness. Now, another is strong. Strong means frog is jumping. Frog is jumping. So, we are feeling the pulse very strong, means heat, and slippery means damp heat. So, when we will check the pulse, okay, we will feel very strong pulse. That is pushing your finger away. Because it is pushing your finger away, it means it's strong. Okay, you are very fast. It's pushing the finger away. So it's like a frog jumping. And also, so we are slippery, something rolling under finger. It means heat. So slowly, when the person is having dampness, you will able to understand this condition. Okay. So question number 4, a floating and empty pulse, most commonly seen in which condition? You can unmute yourself. A floating and the empty pulse.
Windy cold invasion.
Blood
Floating and
stagnation. Blood stagnation.
so floating means we are feeling something on the surface. Empty means when we are going, we are not feeling anything inside. Empty. Where nothing, not at all inside, or very, very slow inside. So what is the meaning of floating?
External.
Out of these 4 conditions, which is external?
Windy cold invasion, sir.
So external means wind cold invasion. Means when the pulse is empty, when the pulse is slow, it means it might be cold condition. Okay. So wind cold invasion.
Blood also.
Wind cold invasion, yes. Okay. Yeah. So in this condition, ये रविंद्र जी का माइक है. रविंद्र जी का माइक. रविंद्र जी आपका एक बार माइक आपके डबल चालू है ना, इसलिए आवाज आती है. Okay. Fine. So wind cold invasion, when the wind cold invasion, person will be having sneezing, person will be having body pain, neck pain, runny nose, the all symptom will be there and will feel the floating pulse. Floating. Okay. And we praise, we go deeper down, not feeling anything, nothing, that is empty. Question number 5. Which pulse combination typically indicate damp heat with stagnation, such as skin issue, okay, and the diarrhea? Okay, leave these multiple conditions, just consider skin
Fast
issue.
Fast and
damp,
Deeper peak, sir.
fast and
so dampness is there means fast,
Fast and
slippery.
slippery.
So here, what is the meaning of fast? What is the meaning of fast here?
Fast.
Fast
Heat, heat.
fast
Indicates
means,
heat.
so we are feeling
Sir.
very fast pulse, very fast pulse.
Heat.
heat.
That is heat.
Heat.
And slippery means
Dampness.
Dampness.
So damp heat. Now remember one thing, the meaning of damp heat means infection. So damp heat means infection. Wherever the damp heat, infection will be there. If the damp heat in the lower part, infection will be in the lower part. Damp heat in the urinary bladder, infection will be in the urinary bladder like UTI. Damp heat in the large intestine, there will be food poisoning in the large intestine. Wherever the damp heat is there, it will create an infection. Okay. So the damp means slippery and heat means fast. So when we are checking the pulse, we are feeling very fast pulse. Fast, more than 6 beat. per breath. Also something rolling under a finger, it means damp heat. So we have to observe the pulse of every person. Question number 6. If floating and the strong pulse generally represent which scenario? If floating. So judge, first tell what is the meaning of floating here?
External.
Don't trust.
Sir,
Disappear. Pulse will be disappear.
external, sir.
Stage.
External.
External.
So
External.
floating means
External.
exterior and strong
External.
means heat. So it is the exterior heat
External heat condition.
or early stage of the acute infection. So when you are feeling the pulse floating means you're feeling the pulse very strong, means you're feeling on the surface. You're touching your hand, just a touching hand, it's pushing your fingers away. That is very strong pulse, very strong. But you press, nothing is there, disappear everything. So that is called feeling very strong pulse at the surface, but if you go deep inside, feeling nothing. That is called floating pulse, very strong, but it's a floating. Floating means only like a boat. You can feel only on the surface of water. You can't feel anything under the river. So the answer will be first one. Question number 7. A strong and slippery pulse is most likely found in which condition?
Damp heat or flame accumulation.
Okay, what is the meaning of strong?
Heat.
So the meaning of strong will be heat. What is the meaning of slippery?
Damp heat in the flame.
Same condition. So damp heat or the flame
Damp heat.
Damp heat. So damp means slippery. It is same like condition above. Damp means slippery and heat means. Now can you tell me slippery pulses can be considered normal in which condition?
Pregnancy, sir.
Pregnancy. Something rolling under a finger, that is slippery pulse. It is telling about the dampness. It is normal during the pregnancy. During the pregnancy, slippery pulse is normal. Okay, very nice. Question number 8. A fast and slippery pulse might indicate which of the following condition? Fast,
With stagnation.
slippery.
Damp, heat, and stagnation, sir.
Stagnation.
So what is the meaning of fast?
Heat.
What is the meaning of slippery?
Damp.
Stagnation.
So,
Damp.
this is the-
Damp.
so slippery means dampness. So the damp heat with stagnation. So damp heat is doing some problem inside. Question number 9. A floating and the strong pulse is commonly seen in the which scenario? Floating and the strong pulse.
Early stage.
Early stage of acute infection.
So floating
Early
means
stage.
floating means only surface. Strong means some heat.
Heat.
So there is some attack. That is the early stage of the acute infection, maybe influenza, maybe cough and cold, maybe fever. So there is external attack, exterior attack. So we will feeling floating in the strong pulse. So early stage of the acute infection. Submit. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so this is our answer is right. By mistake, it is showing wrong answer. Okay, because a floating means external empty pulse is most commonly seen. Our answer was wind cold. It is telling yin or chi deficiency. No, it's not. Our answer is right. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So done. So we will be solving more quiz tomorrow. Now let's see you tomorrow. Okay. Closing the session. Good night.